Diana Demrick here, rah, rah, rah. I hope you're fine and well this morning. If you missed the previous Hygge Christmas planning that we did, I've got your back, don't worry. Today I'm going to be going through the 15 missions, the final Flylady super cruising missions for getting ready for Christmas or whatever you're celebrating without the stress. I've made a little checklist for you, and also many years ago in a galaxy far away, I made a video for each of these things where I do the mission along with you or go into more detail. I will put a link to that below, also a link to the checklist, but I'll just quickly read through them. Some of them may apply to you, some may not apply to you, but it's just a nice way to get ready, to get into the spirit of things without feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling quite cheery because I'm just back from seeing my mum in Edinburgh. Thanks to everybody who's been asking about my mum. Mum says hello and cheers and a Merry Christmas to you. But anyway, let's dive in. And most of these things, just set your timer for 15 minutes and get stuck in. Because the reason that we don't do it is that we think, oh, it's going to take far too long. And I'm not saying you're only allowed to do 15 minutes, but just by setting your timer and focusing on the 15 minutes, we get started and we've done something. And then usually once we get started, it's easy. So 15 minutes of decorating. Self-explanatory. Number 2, table linens, towels and bedding. Perhaps you've got people coming to stay, maybe you are staying with somebody else. Let's have a look at those. 15 minutes when you are doing your weekly upkeep clean, take a couple of extra bags with you and check and see, is there any obvious recycling or trash that you can remove? Try and look at your house as if you were a visitor coming in. What would you spot immediately? Number 4 is planning. Have you booked your haircut? Have you printed out your travel documents? You need to check details with your pet sitter, all those small planning things. Number 5, fridge and food. Maybe your fridge or your freezer needs an extra little TLC right now. I usually like to do that on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, Flylady Anti-Procrastination Day. I clean off one shelf or clean out one drawer of the fridge. It makes it a really less daunting task. Number 6, self-explanatory errands. Have a look at your list. Is there any non-perishable items that you can pick up? Cat litter, coffee, toilet roll. You know, you don't want to be having to head out to the shops at the last minute when things are crazy. Number 7, budget and checklists. We've talked a lot about budget. We've really pared back the amount of gifts that we give. We give clutter-free gifts, or we just don't give gifts at all to other members of the family. We've all got everything that we need, so hopefully that's not a problem for you. But maybe you want to review how much you're spending so that you're not going overboard at the last minute, panic buying gifts. Number 8, guests and entertaining. Do you have guests coming in? Do you need to get the guest bedroom ready? Can you set the table? All those little things where we can just prepare in advance. Number 9, checklists and tidying up any loose ends. Perhaps you'd started making Christmas gifts. Have you got some parcels left to post? Any of those things. Number 10, wrap and decorate. There's probably quite a few gifts that you've purchased that you haven't yet wrapped. Again, set your timer for 15 minutes, put on some good music, decorate. When I decorate, I do it by area. So I've got a box for the kitchen, a box for the living room, a box for the hall. So that way it kind of breaks it down for me, makes it much easier than going through 20 different boxes. Number 11, bake and wrap. We're talking about wrapping again. I suppose if you've got small children, there's always something to wrap. Baking. Perhaps you had an idea that you were going to bake this year. You've got your supplies, but you never got round to it. Have a little baking session. Number 12, we've got cards, parcels, boxes, recycling. Do you have cards that are written, but you haven't yet posted them? What about parcels? Do you need to take them to the post office? Have you got parcels to collect from the post office? And what about those things that have already arrived and you've taken them out the box, but the box is lying around? Can we get those boxes recycled? What about the boxes of Christmas decorations? Did you bring the boxes down from the loft or up from the basement or in from the garage? and you've decorated, but the boxes are still lying there. You don't want your old Auntie Mary falling all over those when she comes for Christmas, so let's get those boxes put away. Once again, errands and checklists. Check your lists again and again and again. Maybe you want to buy some extra food, an extra gift just in case there's somebody you haven't thought of. Wrap again and check those lists one final time. And the final mission, number 15, is to take time for you. Yes, you. And the Flylady habit of the month for December, and this was something that was so difficult for me when I found Flylady back in 2006. I could see the idea about, you know, putting on a load of laundry every day and cleaning the zones in the house. That all made sense, but I couldn't see why it was so important to take time for me. I'm telling you, here and now, I've been a Flylady mentor. I teach Flylady. I coach people in Flylady and time management. If there's one thing that you will listen to me saying, you must take time for you daily. Because if you're feeling overwhelmed or overwhelmed with Christmas or overwhelmed with the house or overwhelmed with work or overwhelmed with family, you're not taking time for you, and you absolutely have to be taking time for you. I've got plenty of ideas on my blog, dianedenmark.com, where I actually give you ideas by Flylady zone to make it easier to do it that way. Set a time every day, and if it's difficult for you, actually set a timer and just sit there with a nice cup of tea, coffee, chilled drink if you're in the southern hemisphere, and just be, just breathe. And just be. Make sure that you look after yourself, because once you get the self-care going, all the rest becomes easy. And one of the things that I like to do for self-care is, of course, skinny dipping in the Danish Sea all year long. And the other thing that I do in the month of December, I started it last year, is I am in the 5K daily dash, where we run or walk 5K daily. Now, you don't need to be doing the same as us, but I would encourage you, especially at this time of year, if you live somewhere like Denmark where it's really kind of dark, raining, I don't know if you can hear the rain, getting out every single day. I can't stress the importance of that. And you know what we say, there's no such thing as bad weather, only the wrong clothing. As I said, I've got a video for all of these, and I'll put the checklist down below and I'll put the link to the videos down below. Have a fantastic day. All I've got left to say is live long and prosper. May the Danish Hygge be with you. I'll see you very soon with a rah, rah, rah. Okay, bye for now.